Now, welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 Sri Lanka here on the Lord Master channel, as we're still in the early part of the series under the reign of Vijayabahu the Great, who is 51. He's still feeling fine, even though he's been practicing asceticism as of late. Oh, where's that modifier? Well, it's not there, but it's not permanent. It says it's supposed to last for a good 10 years or so. Now, let's get down to business, and I do mean business. But as you can see, the Jetavana used to be the least prominent, but now it's the second most prominent, with Mahavihara falling down to, from that place. Well, in the meantime, purification has now been catching up as of late, which that yearly drift catalyst is due to numerous factors, mainly due to both Jetavana and Mahavihara's prominence is low, which I aim to try to change that one day, as with everybody else. Yearly drift towards this struggle phase is another, as it has been nearly 15 years. I mean, that's just always the case. There is a Buddhist ruler who has a sinful trait. Who that is? Is it you? Who's the sinful Buddhist? I want to know who. Is it you? Or perhaps one of the others within the struggle involvement? Like somebody lower than them. You. And there's you. Well, hang on here. Be a Buddhist ruler with one sinful trait. Well, there are two, but I don't know if they really count. Plus, that man's a Hindu, so I guess it's him. But keep looking. Yeah, I guess there is only one. Okay. Be a Buddhist ruler does not patronize any monastery. That's always going to be the case, because there are some characters involved who are not aligned yet. But even the sinner is a patron of a monastery. Who isn't? Well, of course, it's the mercenary bands. Because what they do in their life isn't our business. And of course, there's you. You haven't patronized yet, so you're contributing to that. Again, if it's titled any Lord, nothing I could do about that. Again, what is this again? Opinion, gain, lose piety. That's nothing. Just realized this was there the whole time. Now, here's what I'm going to do next. Because we need money to, help with the Sangha and a few other things. But first, I'm going to do something that I've not done yet. I want to grant Buddha some privileges. Because this man is 60 years old. He's feeling fine now. But this is my best friend, and I want to give him something in return. Now, back when I was a young prince, I was a mere child forced to survive in the wilderness and on a run from Chola invaders. Buddha was my protector and guide during those difficult times. It is only right that I grant him This granted him and his descendants exemption from all forms of punishment and retaliation. He will get a special artifact, the Panakador copper plate, a document embodying this extraordinary order. He will gain a perpetual hook on me. Be careful with that. I will gain 500 prestige for this. He will get 500 prestige of piety, and his feudal contract will change to protected title revocation. So I cannot revoke his titles, even though I wasn't planning on doing that anytime soon. Unless I have an absolute reason to. Like that man over there. Now Budov's dynasty, this said Narubin, will gain 1,000 renown. And for the next 100 years, privileges for him and his descendants. When the future King Vijayabahu was but a young boy, lost prince surviving in the wilderness to escape the ravages of the invading Chola armies, his greatest and most valued protector and guide was Buddha, a progenitor of this dynasty. As thanks for his incomparable courage and virtue, and his role in securing Vijayabahu's future victory, he and his descendants have been granted great privileges. So for the rest of this, for the next 100 years, +1 diplomacy and intrigue, while gaining a little bit of renown, and Buddhists all over will respect them a little more. For him and his dynasty and his descendants. Now for historical context. After their conquest of Sri Lanka in 1017, the Cholas struggled to assert their authority over the island. During this chaotic time, the young Vijayabahu, a distant cousin of the old royal family, was constantly on the run from the Chola armies. The warrior and general Buddha was one of Vijayabahu's earliest supporters and protectors. After Vijayabahu's victory over the Cholas in 1070, he granted Buddha and his descendants many legal privileges in either 1082 or 1083. This was recorded on the so-called Panakador copper plate, which was discovered in 1948. Although we're kind of doing that a year or two earlier than historically, but I just needed to get that out of the way before something happens to him where I won't be able to enact this decision. But I am forever grateful to him, my best friend. Old protector hook on me. Rewarding Ratladova. Years ago, when I was a mere prince and a young child, my future was most uncertain. With Chola invaders and local warlords ever present to my safety, in those critical years, the greatest of the valiant people who protected me was Ratladu Budal. Without Budal's help, I would have not survived to reunify Tambapani and become its king. Today, because of my great debt to Budal, and to honor his immense contributions, I have granted him and his descendants extraordinary legal and political privileges in perpetuity. These privileges have been described on a copper plate and formally sent to Budal, so none may question them. A great man deserves a great reward for great deeds. Here it is. +1 stewardship, the prestige gain. Liege opinion up, which I do like that man. And vassal opinion, they'll respect him more. This copper plate was made at the request of Aga Rada Vijayabahu in order to not only commemorate the achievements of Buddha, but also to officially record the extraordinary legal and political privileges that Vijayabahu was granted to Buddha and his descendants. When Vijayabahu was but a young prince and not even an adult on the run from the invading armies of the Cholas, surviving desperately in the wilderness, Buddha was Vijayabahu's staunch protector. As such, few would contest Buddha's essential role in the victory over the Cholas and the reunification of Tambapani. Here you go. All yours. Enjoy it well. But now I must go on a grand tour. Look at the average cost. Go on another taxation tour, because we need to raise funds. Lots of funds. So first off, increase control. Well, actually, I'd rather have dinner with you. Despite our differences, maybe one day I can not only increase his opinion much further, but see if I can befriend him, and maybe he can finally pay me the damn tax. And I'm sure the control is still, very bad up there. Real quick. What happened down there? Slightly in debt. Well, you better start raising those funds. Otherwise, I'm going to come over there and we're going to kick the door down. And you better give us money. You're going to pay the tax, man, that is to come. So, in fact, just to be nice to you, you're going to be the last person I'll visit. So, we'll change routes. First things first. And I'll visit you later. As I said, I'm going to be the last person. I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to give you this amount of time for you to start making that money, and all that. Anyways. Does it like me well enough? Perhaps we can... Yeah. These are going to be all dinners except for the last two. Well, I was thinking about dinner. But, it's like, yeah, this needs control, but that needs control too. Because I like to see an entire realm stable. I will not gain much taxation from the vassals due to the lack of control. And Nagadipa still pays well. The Vani, not so much. That needs to be changed. So I will help you with your control issues. Crud. Don't have enough. Well, it's high medieval era, so things cost more. Travel speed, aptitude, safety, aptitude. Disregard it. We need to raise funds in order to go on to this said tour. You better get to work on that. I'm looking at you. The secret is exposed. You are a fornicator now. That's shunned. Hey, you know what? I got an idea. Actually, no, I don't have an idea. You do not have the ability to befriend. That's gonna be for the other phase. Particularly acculturation. I don't have anything like that. I'm looking. Can't do border raid. That has to be within the struggle region. If the realm were to break down, of course. Hmm. Well then. I still have this one claim, but that's pressed, which is inheritable. Because you know that's the home of, I mean, the city has the mining pits, which will give you a lot more tax. And I'm the paragon of virtue. Again, I'd love to do all this, but the longer you wait, purifications can keep going up. What did you do? You just contributed much further to this. Did you pray to one of the deities? Yes, you did. Well, actually, no, that's old one. Drenched in excrement, focused on revenge. Oh, you seized monastic land. You recently ordered the seizure of the lands belonging to Buddhist monasteries and their territories. Some say it's because the ruler felt these monasteries had gone astray from the holy path of managing worldly affairs. So it's done for political reasons or for pure greed. What for? You live in an area that has very good income. Why'd you do that? Is that the first time that's been done? Seized land belong. Yep, definitely. He seized the land. Took the money from him, even though he didn't need it. Although I would do that too if I was broke, but we ain't. Very disappointed. How much does it cost again to start the whole damn tour? Okay, anyways, we'll do that in the next year. Now, look here. The worst phase to have is degeneration, okay? Purification is like half good, half bad, but accumulation is best. So I'm trying my best to steer towards that, but the problem is you live in a low-income country. Unless if you have this area here, which can give you a lot more tax because of this. Compare that to here, as obviously this is the capital and a couple of other benefits. But this is the second best place. These don't compare. Let's wait till we have 400 gold. It's only about a few months away. And of course, with the degeneration phase, the prominence is going to keep going down no matter what. Under purification, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. In accumulation, it's always going to go up no matter what. Yesterday, I had an atrociously annoying itch on my skin near my shoulder blade. I found it hard to scratch, because no matter how I angled myself, I just couldn't get my fingers to reach the itch. Then it occurred to me, why have I never thought about keeping a back scratcher around? That is, I used them before. Maybe I should keep one just for my personal use to take care of the annoying itches like the one I was having. Today, while in town, I came across an artisan who was good at carving wood. Having this artisan make a back scratcher would more than suffice, so I wish. 15. I've always wanted to reduce stress gain. I need a reliable way to scratch myself. Can I buy one? I've once had I used to scratch my head once. An ordinary yet irreplaceably useful tool. Its owner can rest assured they will never suffer from unscratchable itches. Sure, I've spent a little and supposed to save up to 400, but hey, it costs a little. And plus, reduced stress gain is always good for times like these. Minting new coinage. It is my right and responsibility to determine what coinage is to be used throughout all of the Vijayabahu, or in this case, Compatibility. The choices I will make will determine how the coinage, and by extension my realm, is seen throughout the world. You may never know you still find old Roman coins here. Heck. Although I do plan on going to Grand Tour and I need money as quickly as possible. So I'll say debase the coinage with inexpensive nickel. 67% chance that I save a fortune on minting these debased coins. So we'll have these new silver coins minted and gain some of that. 30% chance that everyone learns how cheap these new coins are. But I'll gain 100 lifestyle experience for stewardship regardless. Nope! Everyone learns how cheap the new coins are. Something that we try to experiment with. Hold on, what have you? Major veneration of Buddha's tooth. He just did that recently. Well, that means the prominence of Mahavihara and Jetavana goes down while Abhayagiri will keep going up. Another daughter. She's got a lisp. Already. You've got a claim on over there. Oh, that's far off. Which again, don't start a war. Don't attack someone in a war. That's purification. We will remain in a policy of non-intervention unless our allies make it so, which does not make me an attacker. That is my policy. Okay, you're out of danger. During a new daily management realm, I've learned several different opportunities I can pursue. Each opportunity has great potential, but realistically I can only pursue one of them. I must determine what would ultimately give me the most value. Securing those trade deals will fill my treasury. Yes, we shall do that right now. Let's support Sri Lanka's Sangha. We'll do that by going for Paravana schools again. I mean, the other controls all four, but this is just to gain 900 lifestyle experience for this. May this bring me great merit. As a patron of the Jetavana Monastery, I must work together with them to further the cause of Buddhism in Tamapani and elevate the land's Sangha. The Jetavana, like all the great monasteries of Tamapani, maintains a network of Paravanas, or schools. These networks of Paravanas play a major role in reinforcing Jetavana influence designs. I decided to expand that influence further by building another Paravana. Well, I'm a great patron, now we'll keep that at the max. In the name of the three jewels. Yes. I would like to construct another irrigation tank, but that's gonna have to wait. Because first, it's time to go on a Grand Taxation Tour. Actually, Like that, yes. Just for a cultural festival. Well, for you, you need to get things under control. You need to get to work on it. You're going to be the last person I visit. For the very reason that, okay, you're out of debt. Good. I gave you this time, and I'm still going to give you time to start raising up your treasury for you to pay me. Travel log. It's slower travel speed, which is again giving this man time to start making his money back. Then he's going to have to pay me because I'm giving him a second chance. Plus prestige gain. Whatever danger we face, we'll deal with it, and possibly make some trade deals along the way. Once again, the intent will be justice, because I am a man of justice. Let's begin. A Panjani man who is a renowned Silk Road merchant. And he's also tight-knit, as this character remembers their youth in the safe and warm bosom of their family. It still retains close ties with them today. You got a mixed family. Some Christian, some Hindu, and yet you're Muslim. Wonder where you got the Muslim side of the family from. Ghaznavids did this during childbirth. Feel sorry for you. Losses of yours. But keep in mind, he's a lazy, stubborn, calm man. He's a cowardly thinker. So he'll be coming with us into trouble. The time has come to depart for my grand tour of Tambapani. My court is packed, ready and rearing to go. Our first stop will be my Vadisarglava. Over in Matare. I look forward to helping the people contribute to the nation's wealth by any means available. The Vijayabahu Aga Rada Vijayabahu subjects should certainly not have any surplus headed from the crown after this tour is concluded. Can't wait. I receive a welcome worthy of the Aga Rada at the gates of his Durga at Matare. My coffer wagon and tax collectors making the goal of my visit clear. My vassal duly receives me of all the recs of deference. Midala explains the planned evening banquet, promising the entertainments and lectures on offer will meet the standards of our own court's dinners. He assures us he has only the finest food he has to offer. Let's begin then. For all. This evening I'm seated next to his Chancellor, Veerabahu, watching as he sighs into his plate of lung. Truly, I grow tired of life here in Matare. I long to elevate my station in life. My talents are wasted here, and later I'm thinking of slipping off with you back at Vijayarajakura, where I can really show what I'm worth. This little man seemed genuine, but can I really steal in his court? Of course, come with me. Folks may be offended to take action. Then the Grand Tour will become more avaricious. Refuse to let him go. I'm sorry for that little misunderstanding. Extra clergy tax and My ally has died. Candle tax. Already, we're having a swinging success. Court levy tax. Foods had piled high once again this evening, as I've come to expect. However, the little pastries I've grown so fond of seem to be absent. I turned to Mehidala of Mandele with a quizzical expression on my face. I know you expected more pastry, my Aga Rada, but the cook assures you that every last one went missing just before it was ready to be served. We try to catch the thief, but the gluttonous villain is far too elusive. Not too elusive for me. I sit at the dinner table, waiting my dessert. When it finally arrives, I can scarce contain my rage. I'm appalled to see what's supposed to be a cake in the shape of a Sahala fort sagging miserably underneath its own weight on my plate. Is this some kind of insult towards my prowess? I can only feel insult to look at this thing. But from his puppy-like eyes, I could tell that this was a sincere attempt at flattery. Oh, I love it. Just be nice. But at the same time, I followed the trail of crumbs and splotches of salsa and grease all the way down the corridor until at last I locate the culprit. I enter the bedroom and find Vimaladharma sitting alone with an entire pile of pastries at his side. Oh, my Aga Rada, I was about to bring the pastries to you, of course. But you see, they're always gone by the time it was my turn to eat, so I thought I would sneak one or two first. Please do not tell a soul of this. This is this man's court's physician. Traveling physician. He is good in this, but he's calm and diligent. Any choice makes it avaricious. I'll let you off for a favor. Get a strong hook on him. This is your punishment. Sucker. $26 gold from the courtier tax. $10. I'm making sure that everyone pays. And that little favor I did, I guess that could count as a courtier tax. I have concluded my royal visitation of Matele. Now my procession prepares to depart. This court is lined up all neatly to see me part. And for everyone present, it's time to collect tribute for bestowing of life presents. It's time for a tribute. He gave in. And now we go to the duck tax. Alright. Let's begin then. She's 55. But she's intimidated by me, so she'll definitely pay. Sword sheath tax. 24 gold. The inn we stayed at Manakalapawa last night was a surprisingly wonderful place. I don't know what the inn or its staff did right, but something about the inn allowed most of us to sleep through the night so peacefully. This morning there are smiles on the faces of many of my entourage as we were prepared to leave. What a wonderful place this was. It is another evening in my stay at Ladu Sitadevi of Madakalapawa's home, and yet another foreign meal is placed in front of me. I knock it a little with my knife, watching as the dark, unfamiliar sauce slides around like a cascading mud. Or what I wouldn't give for some food from the capital. Just some simple candled figs would be fine. Candied figs would be fine. I could ask to something from back home, of course, but I risk causing offense. Oh, I'm sure the local food is fine. Just take it. Don't question it. $40 for this clergy tax. 35 from you. I find myself awake in agonizing hunger, unable to return to my rest. I wander in the dark to the kitchen. I find that the room is lit with little sunlight beside my lamp. The pantry shelves grow of an unearthly yet inviting gold. I'm overrun with curiosity, unable to find the sources of glow. With the flame of my light snuffed out, I begin checking around the edges of the pantry. I must get to the bottom of this. It's a 36% chance I progress deeper, or 64% chance that she's going to be suspicious of me. She noticed. They became lovers. Again, she'll likely pay tribute because she's intimidated me. She did. Roast swan tax, as we'll be heading into the jungle, into the hill district. This is another dinner, another feast, another banquet. This dinner this evening is a little different from what I'm used to. The cook lackadaisically drops a bowl in front of me, and I'm immediately met with the most unworldly aroma I've ever smelled in my life. This dish is from the depths of Naraka, is offensive to all the senses. Some slimy gray substance sits in its pale foamy broth like an unattended chamber pot, with a single sprig of herb placed on top of the futile effort to make things look appetizing. My every instinct compels me to fling the thing out of the nearest window. But Ravideva assures me that this local delicacy is worth the Aga Rada. Well, it doesn't matter. Down the hatch. Food was disgusting. The shoe tax. Well, made it about to reach level 4. Tier 4. Before this is even finished. We're like halfway done. Bingo. You don't need to visit all of them, basically, but that's just a matter of luck for each of these little events up in the activity. Ah yes, Vikrama the Giant. You don't want to mess with him. He's been making enemies. Don't dare to try to... Life as an Aga Rada brings all manner of magnificent and fanciful food to my plate. But lately I've grown tired of these same flavors and textures. I desire truly outrageous, that truly exotic. To one side of me I see pomegranate cakes, and the other are boiled vegetables. What if I were to take these two distinct flavors and taste them at once? Worthwhile experiment. Experiment was a failure. Stomach ache for the next 5 years. Pay up! And I guess he did. Yes. And now one more dinner with my best friend. Once more, the road ahead is dangerous. So for safety, we have to settle for the night. While the others set up camp, I catch Cinnabon picking up another unknown fruit. I admire your curiosity, Cinnabon. I smile, but he gives me a mysterious look instead. I'm so sorry, my liege, but I cannot help myself, as he tries to sink his teeth into the fruit. Let him eat it. It was a good one. You never know what you find out in the jungle. It's been too long since I've sat down for dinner with such a good friend. The burdens of the realm are forgotten in this spirit too rarely. How you doing, old friend? You got a what? Significant gift of Silk Road medicine. From the Himalayas, right? Yeah. A memorable performance. It would seem that Badu has decided to put on a performance for my amusement this evening. I sit at the feast table, eagerly awaiting my entertainment. When Buddha of my Rama appears dressed almost exactly as a Hesse Evitram. Oh boy. They did on our wedding day. This is truly the greatest day of my life. I'm wed to a wonderful Aga Rada Vijayabahu. I'm bound on the stage to give my hand to the Buddha, but I wonder I should indulge this. Just say how wonderful. Okay. I guess that's what friends are for. Now I'm making far more money than I started off with. All his numerous attempts to curry favor have not gone unnoticed, but I can't feel but irritated by Nidala's sudden interest in me, and I cannot shake the feeling that the man's intentions are not pure. I'll say, but he still has a certain charm, that man. And actually made a friend. We're friends now. Okay. After I finish my latest meal, I cannot help but feel like there's a hole in my stomach where some dessert ought to be. Buddha can read my mind, it seems. As before I even have the opportunity to complain, he calls for the servant to bring out his special cakes. Nothing but the finest hashish cakes from my Aga Rada. He says it's an absolute mountain of this stuff is dropped on my plate. Wow. Thank you so much, my best friend. Medicating with company. Sharing the evenings with a good friend and fine hashish. 10 stress loss because I'm zealous. Everyone is making merry at dinner, and I tell another one of my legendary jokes to much laughter and applause and coughing. Must be the hashish kicking in. I look around and see Ayamansta clutching his throat, tight and hanging heavily, growing red in the face. It seems my joke had gone a little too good for him. I could leap to the rescue, of course, but is it really my concern? No, you're the man of justice. Save him! This has combined my prowess and learning, even though my prowess has been deteriorating slightly, but I still have excellent knowledge. I can save him, but I failed to save him. He died. I'm sorry. He died in my arms. Oh, no, not another one. Damn it. One would think as much as I love my friend and jokes. nods, huh? Could this be my second chance because Mrs. Budelzapadia probably has been in that position since the beginning, I think. Yes, probably been in it since the beginning. She was 16, I believe. Please, save her. And I did. I did save her, right? But anyways, time to pay tribute. I get up and slam already hard on the back over and over. She begins to turn blue in the face. A grotesque glob of what was once gourmet food lands with a splash in some expensive herbal sauce. Oh, thank you. You saved a life today, Aga Rada. I'll forever be in your debt. Oh, it doesn't matter what you say. You're gonna gain stress no matter what. There's no money on you, so I don't need a hook. So I'll just say, you owe me nothing but your company. She'll be my friend after I saved her life. I've been making quite a lot of friends as of late. How many friends do I have? 5. 2 of which are nuns. In fact, I have been making friends with the clergy as of late. 43. That's a good amount, actually. Remember, we're bypassing Karunakala. Passing by as I'm to say, don't worry, you'll be next. Just we have to visit here first. A cultural festival in Nagadipa. The streets of Nagadipa are richly decorated from our arrival. And my vassal, Vedinasa, dutifully waits me. Ah, how I yearn to delight myself in the great activities and joys that I'm sure that he has prepared, and to lighten their bags from the weight of gold. Our cultural acceptance with the Tamils is 51%, slowly increasing. I'm here to improve relations with the Tamils, because this is going to increase the cultural acceptance between us Sinhalese and the Tamils, especially the Sri Lankan Tamils here locally. Because we're all one people. We're all Sri Lankan. Paduma is your name. Lovers. The stage in Nagadipa is set up with hay, flowers, and interesting guests. 3 different pigs stand in the center, accompanied by their proud owners. Nadava Vidyanasara Vidyaura-san gestures to me from the different ends of the dice. Ah, there's our judge. I look around and trying to see if he's referring to me, but there's no mistake. I start walking towards him while he continues. Welcome to our annual animal fair, where the prettiest pig will be crowned. When he talks, I notice he's sneakily pointing at the one on the left. Ah! Now, listen, we may not have the best of relationships and all that, but I do want to improve it, so I'll just say the one on the left, obviously. I crowned an ugly animal. This character shows a homely looking animal as the winner of the beauty contest. What's the attraction opinion? Well, I'm an old man, I don't need attraction. I just do want to improve relations with him while we're here. Duck attacks. It's bound to happen. She's sickly. Hopefully she survives. The attacks. gonna have 1,000 gold by the time this tour ends. Nothing much on this cultural festival this time. Just crowned a ugly pig, as he tells me. Now, time for a tribute. Thank you. Alright. Now listen. You've avoided paying the tax to me once, but I'm giving you a second chance. If you do pay tribute by the end of... Kind of that went away. Well, it's gotten over it because it's been that long ago that I refused to imprison him. Anyways. My arrival at his castle in Vani has marked a fanfare belittling the Aga Rada of the realm. My presence in my coffin wagon and tax clerk is quickly known. My vassal duly receives me with all the requisite deference. Karuna Nada Khan. Karuna Nada Khan. Outlines the plan tour assures me Vani is so fair and final land that merely gazing on her towns and fields will be entertaining. Only time will tell. Well, how's your control? Still bad, but I'm here to improve it, hopefully. Let's get to it. So, as I arrived, the counter control increased by 10. Gold. Yep, 1,000. This is a very, very successful tour, as far as I'm concerned. I guess no events here, other than just getting a little gold. And I'm just here to improve control, and then that's that. Wandering the countryside of Vani, I happened across what seemed to be a gathering of peasants, small hamlet. A company that proud known as a ginger of immense size fill carts and market stalls. The peasants occasionally bring their goods to be judged, analyzing their size and health. They seem to be holding some sort of festival. This is, I've noticed, they're eager to show me the fruits of their labor. You do not look like you're from around here. That is a woman from Brittany. That's a Breton. Who is a lunatic and melancholic. How'd you get all the way over here? But either way, get the county control level all the way to the max. So we should survey these lands, as I would gain more gold out of this. This is the most amount of money that I've ever had since the rebellion. I'm thinking. Perhaps it's start going down that way, because there's no way I'll become this, especially in this old age. On my tour of Vani, I found a rare moment where I'm not being ferried around by my host or be expected to make an appearance anywhere. I see places of worship filling up for the day, and shady figures make their way in the secret hashish gardens, and beggars lay on the streets pleading for just a crumb to eat. What's your popular opinion? Your control's good enough now. At least it's doing well again. Glad to see that. I guess we'll just have another census that must be conducted in this settlement to gain more gold out of it. Now, time for a tribute. Oh, he finally gave in. All is forgiven. I never had a chance to imprison you, but all is forgiven now. So I'm on my way home. And if I were a Christian man, it would have been nice to be home before Christmas. His coming of age, tuition, even as a child, he's always had a way with words. It's therefore unsurprised to take it well to the study of diplomatic relations. With an excellent grasp of all manners of etiquette and the understanding of all kinds of entertainment, and having the eloquence to go with it, he will have little trouble navigating a life at court. He's a charismatic negotiator. He may be dull, but he understands the art of diplomacy very, very well. Look at this gain of renown. I helped you with the increase of it. And all the vassals respect me more. Gain that renown. Grand Tour is finished. And a new year starts. Hang on here. Now we can keep going with the maritime trade. So now, Cosmopolitan ports increases the opinions of different cultures and faiths. Also increases the chances of Bawaji pirate courtiers spawn in Socotra if you live there, while Bawaji courtiers can now spawn in non-Socotran ports in the Western Indian Ocean. I don't know if Sri Lanka is included, but also unlocks the character action to present skilled Silk Road entertainers to the rulers. Get up to 1250 so we can get this. Obviously, everything's kept going with the purification route. Defrocked heretics. Oh, you purified it. You did that. Just like the other man. Well, I'm here to change that again. First things first. Let's construct a irrigation tank. Make it grand. Which I honestly thought it would cost a little more. That's the first step. He wants to donate it to the Nalanda University, right? Yes. That's for more diplomacy. So I'll donate that, why not? As a powerful Aga Rada, it is my duty to assist learned holy men and women in studying and propagating authentic Theravada teachings. One way to do that would be providing a large donation or endowment to the great University of Nalanda in Magadha, which is the preeminent center of Buddhist learning. I choose what aspect of Nalanda's operational infrastructure was to support, which will determine the kind of character modifier and boons, which will get you as well how big the donation needs to be. Because your realm capital is in a region not too far from Magad, you have the option of bequeathing an endowment to the university as well. Alright. Now for context. Throughout its history, Nalanda was financially supported by donations and endowments from both commoners and elites alike. Some of these even came from the lands far from India. For example, Balaputra, a 9th century king of Srijaya in Indonesia, a noted patron of Nalanda, provided with an endowment of several villages' revenues for its upkeep and had a monastery built there. May Nalanda continue to thrive. For centuries, the Nalanda University served as a major center of learning and religious studies for Buddhism. Monastics from all over come to study and exchange ideas about philosophy, religion, linguistics, and translation, and more. As a Theravada ruler, I have the means to give a sizable donation to the venerable institution to assist the university with its daily operations in a variety of ways. Again, my friend donated the basic necessities to them, but we can give more. Let's do what the man from give an endowment to Nalanda where I would gain all the benefits, just +1 diplomacy, stewardship, and learning, and piety, etc. So I recently gave the Nalanda University an endowment of several villages thereon. The resource and revenue produced for these villages will go directly to Nalanda. Such endowments are important in funding the university's operations, and I will gain renown for that. So though this would hurt the holding tax, though, more renown is always good. And plus, I know where I can get my money these days, so I'll do that. A Buddhist ruler is recently given an endowment of several villages in the region of Nalanda University in India. The resources of revenue for these villages will go directly to it. Yes. Bequeath a few villages as an endowment. Every little bit of renown is good. I'll go on another pilgrimage to Sri Pada. Where's my pilgrim trait? I'm an experienced pilgrim. Oh. 3 months. Okay, after the pilgrimage, we'll do another relic veneration. This is excellent timing. Just an act of devotion. Though we're not necessarily traveling to a major holy site, we're still on a pilgrimage, and we should take this seriously. We don't need that because this will be a short trip. Keep the travel log. And I don't fear any danger. Gain more prestige. Gain experience in your lifestyle. Go for curiosity. Yeah. It's only 94 gold. And if anybody wants to come with me, they are more than welcome to do so. Let's go. Alright. Today, I start my journey to Sri Pada. It'll be an arduous journey, traveling through miles and miles of wilderness, not to mention the actual mountain itself, which will be quite difficult to climb. However, it will be well worth it. Sri Pada is the holiest mountain in Compatibility. In fact, it is so holy that people of all religions, not just Theravadins, go on a pilgrimage there. The site's main attraction is a large footprint at the summit, which is said to have been made by the Buddha, according to the Theravada bhikkhus. Its visiting is surely a great way to show my devotion to Siddhartha. It's time to make my way to the mountain. Cinnabal is in charge of our food supplies, and sheepishly revealed our provisions are now all but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold covered the bread and fresh produce, and have quickly used up our remaining dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. It's just a bit of mold, and I got ill. That's the second time that's happened. You got a couple of days. Do no more is necessary. Told me to undress that nail with my buttocks raised. This is not good enough. When he saw the instrument, his hands almost bolted. He must have noticed it because he patted me calmly on the shoulder and told me to stop glitching. The animals turned out to be just what I needed for now. The dwarf's message to be alleviated, the world seemed a little brighter. Like some work. Ah, Anu ready. My friend. She's come too. Halt! Betrothed can marry. Well, at age 49, you're finally getting married, Vijayabahu. Married to this woman from Kayani Chaklukia. At last, I have reached Sripada. The mountain itself towers high above me at a distance, surrounded by a seemingly endless canopy of green trees. It looks daunting, yet I've already walked all the way here. There's no turning back. For now, however, I and my entourage will need to recoup our energy. The way upwards will be so difficult, we'll need to have well-rested bodies and minds if we are to make our way to the peak. We make our way through the crowds of fellow pilgrims, some fellow Theravadins, other followers of other creeds, as we prepare to rest for the night. It's remarkable how people of all faiths venerate this mountain. Even more remarkable that they maintain relative peace with each other. See that mountain? I will climb it. Again, you know this, you've seen this event before from episode 2, you know what that's like. But, one thing I will say though. In a future flavor, I mean this is for, this is basically my suggestion for any future flavor packs for rice. If Cybrix Khan is watching, just in case. I would like to see an event like that. If there's going to be a flavor pack in an area like Gujarat, for example. To have a pilgrimage to Mount Ginnar, which is a holy mountain for Jains. Because they too also have a long climb upwards. Even though for the lower levels they have that for Hindus, but summit at the top of the peak, there are Jain temples there. I'd like to see something like that in a future flavor pack. Or any kind of flavor pack that relates to Jainism. I'd like to see that. In fact, I'll probably have to write that down in Discord. We have started the trek up Sripada. There are two main routes going to the peak. One, some call the Mama Track, which is relatively easy, gentle walk. So one who climbs up the mountain, this way will not be considered a true pilgrim. The other route, called the Baba Track, is much harder, and is we're certainly on. Along the route there are a number of chains going upstairs to help the pilgrims up the steps. I am not even part way through, and I already feel exhausted. The illness doesn't help. So I'll take my time not to overexert myself. Be careful. Who did what? My other friend has recently built a medium irrigation tank. Good. At last, I have reached the peak of Sripada, and what a magnificent view. Against the pure blue sky, one mostly see pure white clouds surrounding the mountain when gazing downwards, interspersed with the evergreen canopy of trees, all of which obscures the base. But I'm not here to admire the scenery. I hurry my way across the summit where most of the other pilgrims congregate. A footprint spanning a miraculously large length of the lofty black rock. At last, before my eyes, it is the very footprint that the Buddha made so long ago. We will spend a few days of prayer before we return. But before we do so, it is customary for Theravadins like myself to donate some gold and precious items, to leave them in 9 holes carved into the foot as an offering. I will donate a great amount. What's that? Education complete. After spending days in prayer, we start to make our way down the Mama Track of Sripada. This one may have been easier than the way going up. It's still a strenuous trek downwards. By the time we've reached the bottom of the mountain, my entourage are exhausted. As we catch our breath, I'll make note of the famous ancient tree at the base of the mountain. People say this tree is of supernatural quality, for its leaves never fall, and some hermits even claim eating the leaves will regain their youth. Regardless of the truth of the matter, it is a beautiful tree, one clearly old and wise, and a wonderful sight to end our trip on. See that mountain? I did climb it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Wants to weave a representation of everyday life. Tell me, man. Master by his peers. Is that so? Very well then. As we traversed the hills, trudging through the dirt, we encountered a modest wayward shrine, neatly carved. It sports a Dharma chakra at its head, and below the words, "Here lies Saint Hujata of Mayarama, blessed son of Badula." Saint Huja of Mayarama? Seems the local spiritual figures being patronized these parts. One not sanctioned by the Theravada Sangha. I'll say this because I'm zealous, and also I recall that Theravada Buddhism is I think they're probably against this sort of thing, this sort of idea. So I'll say, cast down this heterodoxy. This road's gone incredibly hilly the past few hours, and everyone's beginning to worry. After a while longer, there's no ends of the hills in sight. One of my travel companions, Sinabahu, approaches me and says, "My lord, our mounts cannot carry on like this for much longer. The poor animals need a break, or if it'll collapse, we must stop to rest." He knows full well that this will delay our journey back home. He's right. It would be wise to rest. I'm finally home. I was ill the whole time. I could hear my beneficiary muttering himself across all. I need something great, something epic to make my creation stand out from the uninspired masses. But what? Just what? In his spirit eyes meet mine, he breaks out a huge smile. "Oh Lord, what an amazing idea. Just perfect. What do you think of adding your family's model to your commission?" Sure, that sounds lovely. More renown. Recently I was approached by Yasmana, who seemed to suggest an invitation to a curious party organized by himself. And Ross participates several people. All will engage all sorts of creative sexual intercourse. I can't vouch for this interpretation as much someone's conversation just innuendo that could have been out of more mundane meaning. Now he's waiting for an answer. Will I attend this party? Not my type, really. I'll skip that over. Plus, deviancy is shunned, not criminal. Keep that well in mind. A lot of people lately have been given more towards accumulation. What gives? Have you finally chosen a patron? Jetavana. Alright. Granddaughter of Buddha. The daring hawk, they call him. And this is the son of Buddha. Amazing. You constructed the building in a city holding. How nice. No. It's not going to be until next year we get to build a Buddhist religious holy site. As much as I want more prosperity, why don't we just establish a trade route? Attempt to establish trade route in your domain, increasing the tax you collect, but certainty of establishing a trade route is not guaranteed and depends positively or negatively on your stewardship skill. Positively on having a stewardship education. The size of the trade route may vary, again, depending on stewardship skill. 17. Excellent. I'll take the risk with this policy. Again, something to spend on. Since I got so many children, we should look for a wet nurse. A wet nurse is a symbol of the court's wealth and prosperity. A woman tasked with nursing children, shielding them from disease, and minding their development, a hale and healthy candidate is essential. My servants will suggest a number of suitable candidates for the position of wet nurse. Now, what is a wet nurse to be exact? Because I never brought that up since I began this series. A wet nurse is a caretaker of your children and child hostages. Adds monthly core grandeur. Reduces the chance of children to contract illnesses. Don't know about dark ages regarding that effect. Possibility for childhood development events. Development events. For all of these. Look for them. One went to purification. What did you do? Oh, okay, that makes sense. You just gave land grants to the Hindus because you are Hindu yourself. That I understand. With a mind to provide the best care for our children, I had my functionaries seek out an able woman for the role of wet nurse. Now, they present a few locals for my judgment. 4. Good. Wrathful, arrogant, Courtiers. I prefer the experienced Rajita. Shall be the witness. It's for all my daughters. You know, since it does go towards the accumulation phase, but just by building the city building. Am I willing to spend that huge amount of money to build a village center? Because I would like to build a city of Trincomalee here. Anything to help with the tax. But it all depends. We're still waiting for the trade route to be established. See how goes it. Why don't I just learn another language? I think it's of course, the language of the how's your health? Fine. I'd like to learn your language. The Maran Hambasa. It's your language. War against tyranny. I'd like to come over and help you, but we're not allies. My weaver updates me in its progress, droning on about the limits of shuttle and loom as my mind reels with bold ideas for my tapestry. Weaving may not be my first forte, but that doesn't mean I can have a say how my money is spent. My background gives some unique insights. 0% chance that this will lower the quality, but my martial skill high enough. The ideas will work well. Keyword will. Beginning of next year, I will do the relic veneration. I'm still ill. Aga Rada Vijayabahu approaches me, observing a servant struggling with a vase. My lord, I have heard you are studying the Maran, the Maran Mabasa language. My father was a merchant. He could learn any language in no time at all, he says. His secrets are in this manual. I have no use for it, because I cannot read like the part of a reasonable sum. Just this once. Perhaps what you're asking is a bit steep. 85% chance that he'll take the deal. Reduce it down to $20 to pay 20. He took the deal. A collection of notes and scribbles written by his departed father, a traveling merchant who took the time to understand his customers. Contains many helpful tips and tricks for learning the basics of a new language. The cover is letter, displaying a repeating image of a majestic bird and notes here about a placement of rock crystal inserts that's held close together by ornamental clasps. And make my money back in 5 more. I wait patiently on my throne at the arrival of Nadava Vijayabahu. He kneels in deference as attendants bring forth his gifts and coin and precious objects. The oath is taken, and describes record his pledges to serve the Aga Rada. Though they not have clearly practiced the Singhala vowels, mispronounced the several sections, humorously changing their meaning and leaving my courtiers stifling things. Good effort. It's not an easy language. My attempt to establish a trader was a failure, as my political decisions and the actions on the ground were not enough to gold merchants to leg their business from far away in places in my counties. Gold's been thrown away. Figures. Figures. Figure it out. Next time. The world's longest illness is gone. I was sick all year. Now come next year. Starting next year, we'll go venerate a relic. I arrived back at my durga after a long, lonely walk. Another year passed, another year older. I was born this day 55 years ago. The older I get, the more I cherish the relationships I cultivate over the years. So it saddens me I have not heard from my wife, Data Devi, or any of my friends today. I trudge along to my chambers. The loneliness is impeding my lazy feet when I hear a clang and hushed whispers from down the hallway. What could that be at this hour? Happy birthday! What a surprise! All my nearest and dearest friends have come together to wish me well as I begin this next year of life. There's even a table laden with saffron cakes, my favorite. Here I was thinking that everyone had forgotten about me. I cannot believe that Dr. Devi went to all the trouble arranging this in secret. I had not a clue such a thoughtful surprise was being planned. My friend, my best friend, Buddha approaches me, struggling carrying 3 barely wrapped packages. Evident trickster. He says, I've 3 gifts here for the choosing. One shall be yours, but which shall it be? I'll take the biggest one. Of course, from one military man to another. The fine sword. The wrought iron sword of fine craftsmanship. The blade is etched to display the words, goodness through the sword. This sword shall be the symbol of my house. Gift from Buddha. I will never ever replace it with another weapon, regardless of quality. Whoa, from all the way from Leon. She wants to make great armor. And now I got a sword, now I need armor. I'm willing to spend it. You will not regret supporting me, my lord. My beneficiary, Egalona, assures me she will create a masterpiece, also that my input is valued. Please tell me, what type of armor do you desire? Dependable scale armor is what I need. Offers good protection, but is a little bit less flexible than some alternatives. Right, now that we got that handled, now it's time to go venerate a relic. Damadatu again for the Jetavana. Still keeping my travel log. I am a great Jetavana patron. Let's go. I'm now traveling to Aga Rada Vijayabahu to venerate the sacred Damadatu text buried there. Buddhist devotees from all over Compatibility to come to this sacred space to venerate this relic as a way to honor the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. As Theravada, this will undoubtedly be a wonderful spiritual experience. May the three jewels protect us on our journey. Well met, liege, or tell the patronage of the Weaver. This is Weaver representation of everyday life worthy of the Aga Rada. Please take this and give it him. I want to miss the chance to the creation of a masterpiece. He smiles orange, begging. A bag of gold dangling from his hand. You still got plenty of money. Good. How generous. Look at the current prominence. This may overtake the Giri. And I may have to switch, well, keyword may. This is a vassal from the Sambhaja of Bihar. So I've studied the Sahara language for many moons. I've personally penned this mischief using the Sahara script. A letter of friendship for the speaker of Magdi. Wish for our future divine dealings to benefit us greatly. From Gaia. Is that in Sihala? Impressive. Send my regards. Remember, mid-July is when we'll build another major Buddhist site. Buddhist building. And all that. Beneficiary approaching. Is there anyone special, my lord? Must have read my irritation. Such a personal question with this. I mean, is there anyone you wish to dedicate your commission artifact to? It is turning out well, but a meaningful inscription would make it feel even more personal. Only the enlightened guides me. It's only worse. That's what we're here for. At last I arrived in Anuradhapura to venerate the sacred Damadatu text buried there. This religious treatise, which expounds on various theological and philosophical topics, was brought to Compatibility from India years ago. Since then, the ardent Buddhists have revered this profound, inspiring text, as many believe it has great spiritual healing properties, and was subsequently enshrined by a stupa. Nowadays, there is an important ceremony held regularly for the Damadatu, a festival centered on the procession of this relic. Seek to participate in this event in order to benefit from its blessings. Let us rest and prepare for this first. And here, my lord, he just made to a door of his weavery, where he's been toiling for months on my commission. Stepping through the doorway, I gasp and gaze upon the work hanging in front of me. A large sand tapestry of masterful craftsmanship. The call depicts a courtier. Aga Rada Vijayabahu sits majestically at the center of the scene, while vassals, emissaries, defeated enemies, and servants wait in line to pay homage. This is lovely. Yes. front and center. Looketh here. There's that shield, and now there's this tapestry. This is for increased renown gain and court grandeur bonus. Throughout Tambapani, burying or enclosing sacred objects in Buddhist, holy Buddhist sites is an important religious practice. Objects believed to possess sacred importance or power are then venerated in order to remind us about the Buddha and his teachings. The Dharmadhatu is one of the more revered examples of this. It is placed in a special house next to a great stupa, an impressive structure of stone surrounded by grass and trees. Many devotees, including lay people and monastics, make their way around it daily. Regardless, I'm here to partake in ritual ceremonies for the Dharmadhatu established long ago. Hope we can begin soon. The chanting of prayers rings in the air, and a march of people and elephants as the procession and worship ceremony begins. We pray to remind ourselves about the importance of the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. As we make offerings to where the Dharmadhatu lays, I reflect on what the Dharmadhatu while doing so. The text itself expounds on the Trikaya, or three bodies, teaching on the nature, reality, and Buddhahood, found in the Mahayana canon. Some detractors criticize Dharmadhatu's teachings as unorthodox, even heretical, but others believe its spiritual ideas can help and guide all, so it is worthy of veneration. This is an exhilarating ceremony, no doubt. My visit to Anuradhapura to engage in relic veneration has come to an end. What joy, what fulfillment, what peace, what contentment. However, as the Buddha taught, all things are impermanent, including this trip. It's time to go back home and reflect on everything that happened. I'm glad I found time for this, all in all. Yeah. This is going to lead more towards purification for doing this. But nevertheless, just wanted Jetavana to have a place. Journeying through Banukam, I passed by a particular-looking tent splayed open. Some more particular-looking occupant inside. Coming home, mighty Aga Rada. I could tell you have many miles to go. I can offer you a reading of future travels for a modest price. Strange man has piqued my interest of my entourage. Wanted to pay for a reading? The man's impatient. Must. For once, I once told of the future, and that was fine and all, but I don't want to have bad omens. No. Seal the tent and have this witch burnt. That's the second time I've burned a witch of sorts. Now wait until July. So we'll spend the money to build another large Buddhist building. Unfortunately, I think purification is going to be the way to go. While accumulations just gonna keep going down unless we all do something about it, but very little of that helps because the yearly drift catalyst does more than with the other. At least nobody's declared war within the country. Perhaps I should start building a city. I know his first words. Hurry, my liege, you have to hear this. The wet nurse Rajita rushed me into my daughter's chambers. She points at Padma in excitement, so I lean towards the woods. Aga Rada Buddha. Looks like it already has a martial spirit. What else you could say? It's a pressure to keep talking. Lord, look at all that metal. Never seen such fine quality before. My beneficiary breaks away from a market procession to accost the merchant selling the coveted item. The stack over fine. With this, my project will reach new heights. I could create something truly marvelous. Please, my Aga Rada, bestow this gift upon me. Oh, 50-50, huh? Of course, but surely we could get a fair price? Merchant's not convinced to spend more. Here it is. Build local site. This will benefit all monasteries. I'm almost towards exalted among men. So, for once, build a temple. This will benefit the local community center of worship. This will receive more prestige than piety. Buddhist temples are important to ensure that monastics and lay people alike can continue to practice the Dharma and cultivate merit. It's where locals make offerings, go to celebrate holidays, or hear sermons by learned bhikkhus. We have found an excellent location for the new temple, not far from the town. Additionally, as I gather resources and people to assist me with this endeavor, I need a clear plan on what to do. For example, I discussed with the local bhikkhus whether the structure will be added to the existing religious complex or to stand on its own somewhere else. I also need to choose how large this building will be. Once site of construction can start. Again, this will benefit all. It'll be large in size, so it may be done in 1 or 2 years. Since our income is good enough, although this is going to hurt it, I'm willing to grant land to temples and monasteries, which will have to be Buddhist, because that's the right thing to do. As the Aga Rada in India, one way I can gain merit is by giving land grants to religious institutions like temples and monasteries, even those of a different sect than mine. It thusly aid rulers like myself by expanding agriculture and economically and politically integrate these frontier regions under our authority. I've decided to grant some land to a number of Buddhist temples and monasteries in my territories, much to the delight of the Buddhist faithful who live there. Though doing this transfers the revenue from these lands away from me, it is for a good cause. At least it will reflect well on me in the eyes of my realm's Buddhist community. So you're trying to play catch up. These options here is the best thing to do. But supporting a different monastery, well, that's optional. Again, that idea of requests for monks and teachers from Sri Lanka, that is for those if the capital is outside of Sri Lanka. Narendra Simha bled to death, ill. Still practicing asceticism, still have that old stomach ache, but medicating and company kinda helps me. How much is 420? That's how much it costs to build a city. Because I want to do that. Major alms-giving communities. Okay, someone did support the Sangha, which is always good. 1 second. No. Develop a free tenant renting some of my land in and that's just an exceptional harvest the seas due to meticulous planning. She wishes to use some of her profits to purchase a piece of my estate from me so that she can build upon her success and grow more crops next year. If she can pay me in hard coin, the land is hers. Get to work. The alchemist reached for a piece of the ancient salted beef as the sauce looked on in fear. Then suddenly I'm interrupted by the fuming Mahasip. Did you just call my beloved a wench and a whore? She screams. I demand recompense for this grievous insult. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm terribly sorry. I hope this is enough. There goes your month's savings. God dog it. Up here. What's taking armor so long? I'll tell you what. We'll finish this episode as soon as I get my armor. Some of my councils believe the job is theirs by right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect results, yet I'm often disappointed. After a long day, I'm complaining of Dr. Devi, which interrupts me. Let me do something about it, husband. A few lessons might sharpen their wits. Robert ever could use a tutor. I would hold a grand tournament one day, but that's only if I have a huge amount of money to burn. But no, money is going to support the Sangha and all that. I saunter between the market stalls of Vijayarajapura. Heavy perhaps talking to my about how do I make this coin work for me? As I admire the wares of the local smith, a good steel, a sound investment, the Mandala Mudaya of Banja. Oh yeah. Son appears myself. A word of advice, Your Highness. Have a look at the mason's workshop over there. The wares might be simple, but the potential is great. Let me see. That's holding taxes. Invest in a mason's workshop. We bond over this great investment. Happy to call you my friend. Anikanga. Pasa Mayarama. All these parts are going to split. But is sickly. Anything could happen. No. Glad to see that she's shrewd, but unfortunately she's wrathful. Forgiving seems contradictory. I gotta put my son's guardian, just in case. My beneficiary waves me over to the understand. She's trying hard to keep professional demeanor, but I can see the fire in her eyes sometimes. With a flourish, she rips the fabric coven away and my eyes grow wide. The armor is constructed from masterfully crafted, hardened leather scales that are fast to the backing of leather. This set includes a nasal helmet and mild cough, patterned with velvet. The whole armor has been painted with the images of rose flowers. A tiny bit of arrow description on the side, proudly stating, Siddhartha is my strength. Magnificent. Now my prowess is good as it once was. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will end the episode here on the 1st of May. Wait for it. And stop. Okay. So in the next episode, as Vijayabahu is getting a little older, but I believe he's got another 10 years to live. And hopefully, in the future, in those 10 years, better get hereditary rule and enact partition, where all children inherit equally, instead of gaining more than they should. And then subsequently you can get horseshoes. It's still almost neck and neck roughly between accumulation and purification. Although I would much prefer accumulation. But I'm thinking in my late life, I may have to support a different monastery. Like give Mahavihara a chance. As much as this has benefited me. And also one day build that city. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. But until then, so long for now.